Hi folks, Josh Cooper here. I know it's been a while since I've done a webinar. I believe the last one, the most common one you remember me for is for finding that $34 million accounting error with the Douglas County School District about a year or two ago. Just wanted to follow up. There's a lot of stuff going on in Douglas County, especially with it being an election year and the Board of Education up with it. There's basically the Elevate slate and the Dream Team / Community that are going up through. Just want to clear up some stuff. There's a lot of misinformation going out there and kind of want to provide some proof on it. The biggest part is politics has absolutely recently been inserted into this election. This is a local election, but now politics are in there. So I'll start with this one. This is Douglas County Republicans saying they endorse the Elevate slate. Right here, that's the group of individuals for them. So this is kind of unique. But if you say they're doing it because there's $3,000 spending from DPACE American Federation on Teachers, which is basically supporting the Dream Team / Community slate right here. So they're saying they're saying the Republicans have stayed out of this race the whole time. I'm not here to get into Republican versus Democrats. I'm just here saying there's now a political entity involved in the local race here in Douglas County. So let's go back to what's kind of talked about this stuff. We're going to kind of work this train backwards. So there's been some internet discussions about, yes, the American Federation of Teachers donated $300,000 for Douglas schools for Douglas kids. Undeniable fact. This is all found on Tracer. That's the recording where they have to provide their stuff. So let's actually look at that link, see what it is. So this is Douglas schools for Douglas kids. Now look at this thing. What's their purpose? To support one or more candidates for school board who are supportive of strong Douglas County public schools, and then just oppose all those who are against it. That's it right there. And they currently have 400,000. And you can see they started up on 9/14, and basically they had to report really quick on 9/28. You can actually click on it, show what it goes through. Here's what the report looks like. And then you'll actually get information like this showing who spent what, where, and everything else. So that said, that's one side. But the other kicker is there's another part. This is where kind of we talk about the dark money. And look at the Colorado Public Committee Independent Expenditure Committee. You know, these are both in the IEC worlds, and it gets really complicated there, where they can donate money and it does not necessarily mean an endorsement by the candidate. They can endorse a candidate, but it doesn't mean the candidate accepts it. So if you look at this, state law make independent expenditures to support Republican candidates and influence or attempt the election of Republican candidates. So you can see there's a political slant totally with the Colorado Republican Committee expenditures. And if you go down here, they've got October's, they've had some crazy parts with the other part, July, April, and then 2016. So that all said, I've actually compiled all that data, me in spreadsheets. So if you take these contributions and look at these all right here, all the green one is all in 2017, all the contributions to the Colorado Republican IEC. And if you look at that, they're up to $541,000. But they started way back in January, and the last day is in 16. The red here is the Douglas County for Kids. And right here is the big American Federation for Teachers. So they brought in the $300 to bring a $400,000 balance. So let's look at this over time, because now we have a political entity, but we have all this other stuff ramping up. So if you look here, this is Colorado Republican Party IEC. Look how it has grown. And it is up to $541,000. That's $500,000 just to support only Republican-based people. In the meantime, the Douglas Schools for Douglas Kids has started out here with the late start with the $100,000, and then this is that $300,000 from the AFT, what they call the Teachers Union, which comes into that. But let's look at the options here. They were already behind $500,000, even if they had the $100,000. Either A, you try to battle something with a $441,000 deficit, try to battle that in politics, or B, you take the $300,000 and try to close that gap. This is just showing you on the timeline where the election is. Pretty big thing. But it still goes back now to the politics and what's the timeline. Here's basically right here where the election is, and then here's where we endorse the Elevate. But when you actually look at the expenditures of when they were going through under the Colorado Republican IEC, they were spending before that. And you want proof of that? That shows right here. Candidates supported 1010, 1010, 1010 right here. All this proves that prior to today, 1019, there was money being spent on Republican-based issues prior to Republicans saying, hey, it was all caused by the $300,000. Now also take a look here. There's also kind of an interesting thing. See this Brownstein, Hyatt, Farber, and whatever? They've had 2 payments from the Republican IEC of $10,000. But if you actually go back to the contributions, they've kicked in 1. So they kind of got like a 10-to-1 kickback ratio. Not too bad. Kind of sounds a little strange. But it doesn't end just there. A lot of these folks are actually part of the Republican system. GOP chiefs of staff, LPR grads. Right here. This is actually a very accurate system. Stephanie Van Zandt has done a fantastic job of registering and going through all this stuff. Here's the people that did contributions and their ties. This has been circulating around. Plenty of information up there. And that's like I said. Now we have politics in a local race. But now we even have national politics. The Americans for Prosperity, another conservative Republican-based think tank, has had this petition up. You may have heard it on Pandora, and it's been flying around. And they're telling you education freedom is in jeopardy in Douglas County. Well, there's basically 3 types of schools. There's neighborhood schools, public schools. There's charter public schools, and then there's private public schools. But there's a kicker. Colorado, per state law, CRS 2236-101, allows you to attend any school in any district. That means you can go to any school in the state. So I kind of think there's no threat to freedom unless that statute is being repealed. But this isn't a debate on the statute. We're just electing the local board members. So once again, you can see politics has been inserted into this process. In the meantime, the folks that are working hard and are being honest with what they can and fighting this huge money and outside interest is this right here, the community team, the Elevate team. These are the folks that are putting that personal touch. These are the folks that are endorsed by a teachers union. The people teaching your children. The same teachers that have been forced out of here, that have left out of here, have had financial cuts, and have not had support. So now they're being supported by a union. Not outside entities, not all these other bits and pieces gathering stuff and hiding. These are the folks you want to vote for, also known as the Dream Team. Graziano, Holtzman, Lung, and Shore. I can't tell you enough. Somehow this small little community has become a national figure in the debate over public schools. And it's just simple. You can see there's politics and personal interests being pushed over the children. We've demonstrated, you've seen lies about timelines, I presented the monies, and that's where it is. I'm sorry to say, but I hope you vote correctly. Please mail in your ballots. Thank you.